Hey, this is Brett with the Sunday Morning Wrap Up, and I found a couple great articles I wanted to share with you. One comes from Kiplinger, and it's called How to Strike a Risk Investing in Real Estate. The first paragraph goes over investment fads come and go, but this much is certain: people always need a place to live, and that's absolutely true. They aren't making any more land either. And right now, the stars are aligned for investors who want to make a lot of money meeting that need. And that's true. And still you have to have the right neighborhood, you have to have the right area. And they talk about the different ways to invest. One is flipping, and we're doing a lot of that. It's working out very well. The one thing I do disagree with in Kiplinger is, even though the best time for flipping was probably '09 and '10, there was no flipping going on. People were just running for the hills. So they were buying rentals also. We bought a lot of rentals during that time, but there was absolutely no flipping going on. The mortgage rates wouldn't allow it. It says flippers who can find distressed homes can do very well in the market where home prices are on the upswing, and that is absolutely true. And Cleveland is a great area for that. And it says a real estate success story: flipping homes for profit. What I like about this, he says, if a property needs extensive work, get several estimates from contractors you trust, which that's absolutely true. Don't forget to factor in the expenses you'll incur while you're holding the property along with the closing costs. So he's talking about your electrical, gas, taxes, insurance, all that stuff. And he says start by estimating the sale price of the fix-up home. Once you come up with a number, he subtracts by selling costs, typically 10 to 15%, a profit margin of 15 to 20% of the cost of repairs. With those numbers in hand, you can determine how much you can offer, and that's absolutely true. When we go out to a property that me and my wife went out and looked at a couple last night, and for example, we were looking at a property that was worth about $125,000 that needed $25,000 worth of fix-up, that they were asking, close to $100,000. So we figured out our numbers on that, and you always want to have a substantial equity position, which I'll go through in a little bit. But and then becoming a landlord, absolutely true. There's hardly any. It says in 2012, U.S. home ownership fell to 65.4%, the lowest level since 1996, and that's because the first-time home buyers quit buying, and that's why that happened, and they started renting. And as the economy gets better, it'll change, because you need first-time home buyers in order for the home buyers to move up to a better home. And the rental market here is very, very, very good. In downtown Cleveland, they're up to about $1,400, so it's a good thing. And then I found another one over here in Zillow that many people have learned that investing in real estate is not easy as it seems, and it isn't. If you don't have the right people, it just is not. I know with our investors, they don't ever deal with the day-to-day stuff that me and Lori do, and it's very difficult to get a deal. For those of us who have been investing for years and learned many hard and expensive lessons, here are some issues that you should think about. So I've done over 900 properties, over 320 flips, so it's a lot. But you need to pencil out the deal. What I like to do is I want to make sure I have plenty of equity on the table after we're done with construction. We just got done with a property over in Orange. It's a $360,000 property, and we're at $75,000 on the equity. So we have room to move down if we need to. The CMAs show that it'll be $360,000, and that's probably where it's going to sell for. But we still have very conservative numbers, and $75,000 equity position. That's huge. And then getting the renovation costs wrong. People do that. Sometimes you do run into some extra stuff, but there again, if you focus on how much equity you have going in, that will not affect you as far as your flip. So, the higher the price of the home, the more equity you need. The lower the price, you're not just not going to get a lot of equity. We did a house over on Lakeside that was $125,000 sales price, and we ended up netting 20 on that. But you have to be very careful with those houses, because you have to, again, that was about that was close to a 25% return on that one. So that was good because you can't amortize. A lot of people amortize it over 12 months when it's a 4 to 6 month project. So you have to amortize it over the 4 to 6 months. So whatever the 12 months was, you have to almost cut it, double it, because it didn't take 12 months to sell. And a lot of people do make that mistake. Understanding renovation time. Yeah, that's really according to the cities. I know like in Phoenix, Arizona, 60 days is no problem. In Cleveland, some of the surrounding cities that we're in, they're very strict. Some of them aren't so strict, but you still have to pull the permits and get a lot of the. What they do out here is the contractors have to be insured, and the subcontractors have to be licensed and bonded. So basically, the subcontractors would be your plumbers, your electrical people, your HVAC people. Those are the people that have to pull permits also. But the contractor runs the rest of them. And all the cities are a little different on how they do stuff. So, but understanding that it never does thinking something can cost only that much. Well, that's true and not true. If you get a pretty firm quote, we stay on our budget about 95% of the time, because we do so many homes. It's if you're doing one or two at a time, or you're doing little, that's what they're talking about here. There's just not a lot of time. If you don't have a lot of expertise, like for example, where you buy cabinets at can cost you $15,000 or $3,000. There's that big a difference. And where you buy paint, we get it for about a third of what everybody else gets it for, because we buy so much of it. And then when you're looking at stocks and bonds and all that, who's running your stocks and bonds. I really stay out of the stock market right now, because it's kind of a glass ceiling and a glass floor, in my opinion. So turnkey, earning money with almost no work on the investor's part, never, not going to happen. Well, it does with us, and we do take care of every little part of the property. We buy it, we rehab it, and we market it. For example, today we're going to the new property over in Orange Village, and we'll be doing an open house there, and we've already started marketing on the internet. We have over 60 websites. And some other examples, we did one in Orange. We netted $53,000. That was a $245,000-ish house. Northland over in Lakewood, we netted about $20,000 on that one. That was $175,000. And then the one I mentioned at 125, we netted about $20,000. And so we've done very well on a lot of our properties. And that's just three examples, real quick ones. But you can see here that the one thing I do take positive out of all this is that it's not as easy as it looks. You need a team, and you need someone that's been around for a long time and doing it forever, and that's me, Brett. So, and we went, like I said, we went out and looked at two houses today, and we saw one that we really liked. One of them had a foundation problem we wanted to stay away from. But also, Kiplinger is also mentioning some successes and some good stuff about it. But again, you just want to have your equity position, you want to have your team put together, and you want to have people around you that know what they're doing, real estate wise and construction wise, and making sure that your property is a success in the end. So when you're out looking, if you're looking to flip properties, this is a great time to do it. Just make sure that you're with the right team and that they're going out, because finding a good flip property is not easy. We're looking at some areas over in Parma and some other areas, and it takes probably 10 to 15 homes before you get one. So if you're interested in getting a flip home and you want to get going on something like that, or even a cash flow home, call Brett, 216-703-5740. 216-703-5740. And I am a licensed agent from Coldwell Banker. Thanks, and have a great day.